guys, Dogs Weight Loss and Critic Reviews here, coming at you with a review of Whole30. If none of you know what Whole30 is, it is an elimination diet for a whole month, 30 days, Whole30, and I think that's where they get the 30 days. Anyways, and all you do is you eat whole foods for that whole 30 days, and there's a whole list. Whole is a lot of the script apparently of what you what you can do while you're doing this whole diet. There's no dairy, no alcohol, no wheat, no legumes, no beans, no soy, no sugar, no artificial sugars. So there's a whole list of things you can and cannot eat throughout this Whole30, and basically what it's doing is eliminating all of the unnatural or hard to digest or bad things out of your diet, I guess. Not necessarily bad, but things that could be bad or causing you discomfort inside your body. And then at the end of that Whole30, the end of the 30 days, you slowly start to reintroduce things back in, and you're reflecting on how those certain things interact with your body. So you're resetting your body. So I did the Whole30, and this is my review on it. And I'm going to try my very best to be objective and not sway you one way or the other if you're trying to decide what if you're going to do it or not. Now, I will start with the negative list of what I experienced on the Whole30, and then I will do the positive list. So, the first week of Whole30, I went cold turkey, but I guess I was already doing kind of a low fat. I'm trying to just eat healthier anyways, more veggies, less sugar processed things, and of course I slip up, and that's fine. That's normal, that's human, but just less of it. And so it wasn't a huge thing, but it was still pretty drastic to be completely from one day to the next, no dairy, no sugar, all of that, because I put creamer in my coffee, not sugar creamer, but just like half and half, and so I completely had to go black coffee, which is fine. I don't mind it. I just prefer creamer in my coffee. So that kind of thing. No cheese. Cheese was hard. Anyways, we're doing positives. No, we're doing negatives first. I'm sorry, negatives first. So the first day I was hungry. Day one, I was so hungry. And they say don't snack. You're trying to retrain your brain and into knowing that you really only need 3 good meals a day, is what this program is saying, and you don't need to snack, and you know all these things. And I'm a snacker, and so it was really hard, and I was hungry, guys. I was so hungry. And everybody's like, well, you can have carrots and you can have vegetable snacks, and it's like, I don't want that. I want whatever I wanted, I want chips, or I want, something else. And I know that was kind of those addictive qualities, the sugar addictions, those things telling me you need this, you need that. I know that. And so I was trying to, in those moments, remind myself of that. And so I would get the carrots, or I would get the whatever, seaweed, which is, they're good, and I love carrots and I love vegetables. It was just really hard because I was hungry and I wanted bread or chips or whatever, and I don't have like normal chips. I have like pita chips or healthier chips, but it still wasn't on the list of acceptable things to eat. So I was hungry day one. Day two was a little bit better, but that whole week was really hard in not snacking, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be to cut out dairy, because I was already drinking almond milk instead of dairy, cow's milk. Excuse me. So that wasn't a big deal either. But the cheese was a little bit harder, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I was like, oh, a cheese stick sounds really nice right now, but I was like, I need cheese, you know. So the dairy part wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And sugar really wasn't as hard as I thought it would be either. I wasn't craving sugar in the sense of like you think sugar cravings go. I just wanted food. I was hungry. I don't know if that was a brain thing or a stomach thing most of the time. I tried to, in the moments, ask myself, are you really hungry or do you just want food? And for the most part, I was hungry. And I didn't like that because I was like, I'm supposed to be satiated and these are supposed to be more filling foods and all these things. And I was kind of irritated at that, which is my next negative, irritability. And I know that goes along with kind of going cold turkey on cutting a lot of these addictions out, if you will. You know, the sugar, caffeine, no, because I still drink coffee, but cutting addictions out, you get irritable. And so I was so irritable the whole month, guys. I was just irritable. I was cranky. So there's that. So hungry, cranky. We're doing negatives first. My face, guys, I got so many pimples. The whole month I have good skin. I have pretty good skin and I don't ever get pimples. If I do, it's maybe once every 6 months. And I had pimples out the wazoo on my face. And that was another thing I was confused about because I was like, isn't that supposed to be something it's like the opposite? You're supposed to have clearer skin? So I was confused about that too. So hungry, cranky, pimples. I was not sleeping as well throughout the night. Like I was getting up a lot more in the middle of the night. Just kind of restlessly. Also like going pee a lot more. I guess that goes with drinking a lot more water, but still I wasn't sleeping very restfully throughout the night. TMI a little bit, heads up. I wasn't diarrhea, but it was loose stools every time I would go, which wasn't often. And that was another thing. So it was kind of like constipation and diarrhea at the same time. It was like I wouldn't poop for 3 or 4 days, and then when I did, it was really soft. Like not quite diarrhea, but it was soft and mushy, and it wasn't a lot. Like it wasn't enough in my mind to. It's like I know I put a lot more in. How come? Where is it going? Kind of thing. And I guess that's scientifically. I don't know. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist, but I would think maybe that's because my body was actually using the fuel I put into it instead of it's all junk. I don't know. But I'm used to going like once a day, and that wasn't happening, and so that was kind of weird too. So it was definitely not a regulator diet for me. So those are kind of the negatives. And then going places or going over to people's houses to eat was kind of difficult. I either had to eat before and then just kind of keep politely refusing food at their houses, or have kind of awkward conversations like, oh no, does that have sugar in it? You know, kind of thing. And it was just kind of like, I'm that person, you know, kind of thing. So, I mean, anyways, so a lot more cooking your own foods. Positives things, I was less gassy. Like there was a lot less internal gas pains, external gas, you know, a lot less of that. Oh, and I lost about, I guess, 11 pounds, so that was a good thing. You're also not supposed to weigh yourself on this diet throughout the whole thing. So you can weigh yourself in the very beginning, and then when you're done. But you're not supposed to be reliant on the scale. And so that was kind of different too. I'm used to weighing myself every week, being a Weight Watchers girl. But I did lose 11 pounds, which was nice. And I experimented with some different food combinations, so I kind of got creative in the kitchen. That was kind of cool. But health-wise, that's kind of it, positively. So overall, my review of the Whole30 is I honestly don't think it's worth it. For me, it didn't really give me the oh my gosh, this diet changed my life moment, which is what I was reading all the reviews on. That didn't happen for me, and I guess that's just because we're all different, obviously. So yeah, and when I did start introducing foods back in, I mean, obviously you're supposed to be reflective on the things you put in your body so that you can kind of get to know your body more and what interacts with your body in what ways. And I noticed, obviously you notice things, and dairy doesn't bother me, so once I was like, oh, I can have cheese, it was great. The sugar thing did kind of tear up my stomach a little bit, so it's just, you have to lay back on sugar, and that's a good thing, kind of thing. So I mean, it's a good diet to try, just to kind of get to know your body a little bit more and what is positively affecting you or impacting your body, and maybe what you're intolerant to. I think it's good in that sense, but for me, it didn't have like a life-changing impact. And for all the negatives, the pros and cons list, I don't really feel like it was worth it. I could have told you in the beginning, I know I shouldn't be eating that much sugar. I could have told you that. I could have told you in the beginning, I know if I eat that much sugar, I'm going to feel sick. I could have told you that, that kind of thing. I didn't have to go through a whole month of abstaining from that and other things that I know were good for me, like beans, to tell me that. So, in my opinion, my review is I don't think Whole30 is all it's cut out to be. I mean, maybe for some people it's great and wonderful. It wasn't for me, and that's my review. Hope that was helpful for some of you who are looking into it. Have a good one.